everyone, it's Haley, and today I'm doing a spoiler-free review for Maybe Someday by Colleen Hoover. So this book tells the story of Sydney, who is a 22-year-old living the dream college life. She has a great boyfriend, she's living with her best friend, and everything is just peachy keen. That is until she finds out that her boyfriend is cheating on her with her best friend slash roommate. As she tries to decide what her next move should be, she finds herself captivated by her very mysterious and very attractive neighbor Ridge and the way he plays guitar on his balcony every evening. And there seems to be an undeniable but problematic connection developing between the two. So the writing of this book was typical Colleen Hoover style. It was fun-loving but also hard-hitting. It had the element of heartbreak but also the element of a beautiful romance. And I'm going to keep my thoughts pretty vague. I just don't want to spoil anything, and I just think this is one of those books that you need to go into knowing as little as possible. But the way that conversations happened in this book just took the story to a whole nother level and the whole relationship to a different level. It was really, really nuts. It had to overcome so much, and it just gave the story such a unique element. And if you didn't know, this book actually has a CD that is accompanying it. So if you buy the book, then in the front there's a little one of those scanny thingies. I don't know what the heck they're called, but Griffin Peterson, I don't know who wrote it, but Griffin Peterson sings these songs that you find the lyrics for throughout the book, and listening to the music as well as reading the book just brought the story to a complete different level, and it made it such an experience, and it was really amazing. The lyrics were beautiful, and you could really see the progression of the characters and the relationship and the whole entire story through these songs. And I really liked the fact that the songs kind of worked chronologically with how the story was going. This story is told in dual point of view, so you get Ridge's point of view, but you also get Sydney's point of view, and that was really, really helpful. You got to see how both of them were feeling in regards to each other and kind of on their own, and I really enjoyed that. Everything really helped to bring the whole story together and let you see how the characters were feeling and how their relationship was progressing, and it made it a really believable love story. So I gave the writing a 5 out of 5 stars. As far as the characters go, Sydney, the main character, was probably the only character I had an issue with. I just found her to be very annoying at times. I don't know why, And honestly, without the dual point of view, I probably would have liked this book a lot less. Like, if it had just been from her point of view, I don't think I would have enjoyed it nearly as much as I did. She just got really whiny at times, but overall, I think she was a pretty smart character, and she wasn't too much of a hypocrite. She was aware of what was going on and aware of kind of the issue with what was going on, and she was trying to fix it and stay true to her word, and I don't think she really meant to do anything, like, bad, if that makes any sense. I'm trying to keep it really vague, so it's very hard. Ridge was probably my favorite character. I loved how mysterious he was, and there were a lot of things that I loved about him that I can't say because they're spoilery, but I just thought he was a great character. He had such a heartbreaking backstory, and I just wanted to hug him. Like, I just loved him, and I loved the fact that he was a musician, and just, he felt things so deeply, and you could really tell, and I really liked that. He was just a very passionate person, and I think that it made the whole dynamic and the whole entire story very interesting. As far as the side characters, Bridget and Warren I really enjoyed. They were bitchy and snarky, but Warren was really funny. They kind of added comic relief to the story. And Maggie was one of those characters that was so likable, but I didn't want to like her. But I just couldn't help it. Like, I really liked her, and it made me really, really torn throughout the story. So I gave the characters a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So this was a very unique love story for many reasons. One, the romance wasn't kind of the central focus of it. There were so many other things going on that I'm not going to get into because it's kind of spoilery, but the connection between the two characters was just so palpable and so, like, raw and emotional and real, and it was all built around not sex. Like, sure, there was like an attraction, a sexual attraction, whatever, but there's only one sex scene in this book. It does not revolve around sex at all, and I thought the only other Colleen Hoover book that I've read that I really liked Both of them had, I think Slammed had quite a few sex scenes in it. Ugly Love has a ton of sex scenes in it. But this one only had the one, and I thought it was so cool that she was able to build such a like connection that I felt like I could feel it, and I felt like it was real based off of like just raw emotion between the two characters. Their relationship had to overcome so many adversities because there were so many barriers blocking the relationship from happening, and I think that made their connection all the more honest because despite all of that, it was never going to be easy for them, but they were still drawn to each other and they couldn't deny that. Cheating is a big part of this book, and I knew that going into it, and that's kind of the reason why I was a little bit apprehensive, but I feel like it was dealt with very, very well. Another big part of the plotline was the music, and as I kind of mentioned before, I loved that part of it. It just made reading this book such an experience, and it made the plotline flow very nicely, and you could kind of see before the characters did as you're reading these lyrics, you could kind of see their feelings developing, and I really liked that. So overall, I gave the plot a 4.5 out of 5 stars. So like I said, I would really recommend listening to the CD as you read this book because it just takes the story to a whole nother level and just makes reading it such an experience, and it's a story that will stick with you for a very long time. But for the overall book, it was just really characteristic of Colleen Hoover with kind of the tragic love story that had to overcome a lot, and like you're trying to figure out what is going on with these characters and what's keeping them apart the whole entire time, and I really loved it. But I will say that this was one of her more fun ones and one of the less risque ones, but it was really just a beautiful story built on such a raw connection that I love. I would recommend this book for fans of other Colleen Hoover books, Fangirl, Anna and the French Kiss, really any cute contemporaries that you like. I think you would really enjoy this. So overall, I ended up giving this a 5 out of 5 stars. So that's going to be all for my review today. I hope you enjoyed. Let me know if you have read this book, some of your thoughts on it, and let me know if you're planning to read this book. So yeah, I will talk to you guys in the next video. Bye!